Hello there. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at the Roomworks reverb plugin. Now, I'm using the full version that comes in Cubase Pro and Nuendo. Roomworks is basically a reverb that simulates different types of rooms and ambience. Whenever we record with a microphone in a room that hasn't been acoustically treated to stop reflections, there's going to be reflections of the sound source coming off different surfaces in the room. So the basic concept of a plugin like Roomworks is to simulate a number of different recording environments, and that means that we've got access to a number of different types of reflections for so many different recording applications. It can be things like drums, guitars, vocals, acoustic guitars. All of these different types of instruments sound really different when different types of room treatment is applied over the top of the recording. In this video, we're going to take a quick tour through the parameters in Roomworks. Let's kick things off by having a look at the main parameters for the reverb. To start with, we've got the pre-delay. Now, this is the amount of time before the reflections or the delay actually kicks in. A larger delay will often simulate a larger room because it's taking a longer length of time for the actual sound to reflect off the surfaces. The size parameter is, well, self-explanatory. It's the size of the reverb. However, the variation button is really interesting. We can alter the reflections just by clicking on the variation button, and there's up to 1,000 different patterns. Next, we've got the reverb time. This is the amount of time for the actual reverb itself. So 3 really important parameters there in terms of pre-delay, size, and reverb time. The diffusion parameter changes the character of the reverb tail. So a higher setting will give you a smoother sound, a lower setting will give you a much clearer, more hi-fi type of sound. And then of course the width is the stereo imaging of the reverb, and the whole button freezes the reverb in an infinite loop, giving you some pretty awesome different types of effects. It's worth playing around with the whole button. Now, reverbs can often be too bright or too muddy or murky, so a really important thing is to be able to filter out high frequencies and low frequencies to ensure that you can get the sound that you're after. For instance, if I wanted a really hi-fi type of reverb sound, a bright sound, I'd just filter all the low end out and, of course, leave the high end in there. Damping is a little bit different to the filters because damping affects the tone of the reverb. So we can do things like warm up an especially bright reverb by setting the point below which damping actually occurs. We can define the amount of envelope that's added to the sound. We can also change the attack, which determines how long it takes for the reverb to reach full volume after a signal peak. Now, the release determines how long after the signal peak the reverb can be heard before it cuts off, so very similar to a noise gate. We can control the amount of signal that's mixed into the output, and we can also turn on a wet sound only, which is great for ascend. Now, Roomworks has an efficiency parameter, which basically lets us choose how much CPU resources are used during the processing of the sound. We can also choose to export using maximum CPU power. So if we're doing a mix print, you can turn this button on and Roomworks will print in the highest possible audio quality. As always, there's plenty of professional presets both in stereo and surround sound so that you're never short of some professional examples for your recording application. Thanks for taking the time to stop by. Please give us the thumbs up if you've learned something and subscribe to the Cubase YouTube channel for plenty more videos just like this. I'll see you there.